If there was one story this week that sparked the water cooler chats, it was the resignation of Dr. Anthony Fauci. I have some thoughts of my own tonight that I'd like to share. Thou shalt not kill. You've heard that before. In fact, it's written in stone, literally. But what of the many good men and women who are forced to violate that commandment? The police officer, for example, who must pull the trigger to remove the threat to innocent life and limb. Soldiers who are sent to war to preserve freedom and God-given rights. It has been said that many good people placed in that terrible dilemma come to a simple rationalization to justify their action. It is this: if I pull the trigger, if I drop the bomb, if I give the order, it means that I'm perhaps sparing not just my own life, but maybe the life of a fellow soldier or several of them, or my way or my country's way of life. It is, in its most raw form, a cost-benefit calculation that spares the conscientious human from some of the inner anguish that comes from taking another life in war. Dr. Anthony Fauci, I believe, is a good person. He made his mark as the nation's preeminent public health authority during the AIDS epidemic, a trusted authority on a number of health threats and how best to treat them. But this week, as he announced his retirement from public life after 38 years, his legacy has been tarnished, in part because he failed to apply that cost-benefit analysis that soldiers apply in war. We now know that his comment, 2 weeks to slow the spread, was wrong, that his draconian war against COVID-19, which dragged on from 2 weeks to 2 years, was flawed at best. In the early stages of the pandemic, October of 2020, 3 scientists wrote the Great Barrington Declaration. It was signed by over 40 other public health authorities worldwide. Its second paragraph reads, current lockdown policies are producing devastating effects on short and long-term public health. The results, to name a few, include lowered childhood vaccination rates, worsening cardiovascular disease outcomes, fewer cancer screenings, and deteriorating mental health, leading to greater excess mortality in years to come, with the working class and younger members of society carrying the heaviest burden. The Great Barrington Declaration called for a compassionate approach that balances the risks and benefits of reaching herd immunity. It warned that we must, quote, allow those who are at minimal risk of death to live their lives normally, to build up immunity through the virus through natural infection, while better protecting those at highest risk. Fauci not only ignored the Great Barrington Declaration, but enlisted many allies in public health, in politics, and in media to skewer it and anyone who suggested it be followed, even though we now know it to be true. Even the CDC finally, inevitably, and belatedly just this month acknowledged that natural immunity is at least as effective, if not more so, than vaccinations and boosters. One must ask, as any cost-benefit analysis inherently asks, what are the risks associated with the public health approach that Dr. Fauci set upon us? Why did he not factor in the cost of school lockdowns to children's mental health, to the brain development of a toddler deprived of seeing an adult's facial expression or mouth enunciating words, the cost of adult and teen isolation manifested in drug and alcohol abuse, loneliness, depression, suicide, misdiagnoses, and deprivation of religious services? Why did he not factor in the cost of trillions upon trillions of dollars to economies and the disruption to world trade and stability? Even now, as the pandemic subsides, World health authorities are trying to understand unexplained annual mortality rates that appear not to be subsiding. Is it a result of vaccination side effects, a manifestation of what the Great Barrington Declaration warned of? We don't yet know. We do know that in his retirement, Dr. Fauci may have to explain himself before congressional committees. Underlying all of this is the basic question of cost versus benefit. Did my action prevent more harm than it caused? Countless soldiers in battle have made that calculation and found some measure of peace with God. Perhaps Anthony Fauci can do the same. Hi, I'm Doug McKelway, and thank you for watching Centerpoint. We hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and tap the bell icon so you're notified every time a new video is posted. Leave a comment below and keep the conversation going by sharing this video with a friend who needs to see it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you back here tomorrow.